Bakersfield. Truck stolen from gas station. California Highway Patrol officers pursue driver in stolen tractor-trailer in Bakersfield, Southern California.
And those cabs in those big rigs are sizable. They can fit quite a few people or gear or whatever you want to call it. We just don't know the circumstances here. So a lot of problems when it comes to a vehicle this size and weight traveling down the 5 freeway.
This tractor trailer is going to, let's see if we pass this ramp here. He's looks like he's going to commit to the 5 southbound, passing the 134. We're right over it here, Tyler. Just let it come under us here. And if he continues on this path, we're going to approach Atwater Village, downtown. And that is if and only if this driver doesn't decide to take any off-ramps before that as we go passing this 134. So once again, this is going to be in the Glendale area. The driver, as far as speeds, they've been okay. They've been in the 50 to 60 mile an hour range, and we're kind of staying at that point. Although now, position here as we leave the Burbank Airport airspace, and now you are correct. We are heading eastbound on the 134 freeway. So we're going to go through downtown Glendale, and that will continue through towards Pasadena, passing the 2 freeway. This driver will also have the option to take the 210 again if he wants to go back up towards to an area that he is familiar with. We do always see that happen in a lot of these pursuit situations. But as of right now, we're continuing at these moderate speeds through downtown Glendale in the middle of the 134 freeway. So as you said, we've transitioned off of the 5 freeway, and now we're on the 134, about to go through downtown Glendale here. The driver does not. So this driver will be the one that we're going to be worried about getting tired as we continue eastbound on the 134, which could eventually turn into the 210. Now we're coming up on this 134 2 freeway merge, and this will give the driver an option of cutting over through La Cañada Flint Ridge towards the 2 freeway, or going southbound on the 2 towards downtown. If he goes southbound on the 2, that could make things a little tricky as those roads get a little bit more narrow through there. And it looks like we're going to commit to the 134 eastbound. He's passing that interchange right now as I see 1, 2, 3, 4 CHP units following this pursuit right now, and a couple more trailing behind that. And as we said, this thing could go a number of different ways, but as of now, it looks like we're heading further east into the San Gabriel Valley and possibly into the Inland Empire. As we see this tractor trailer now coming up a little bit close and now kind of hanging with this other tractor trailer here. As we mentioned before, a lot of these trucks do have the ability to communicate with each other, so I wonder if some of that was going on right there, and if that other tractor trailer driver just decided to back off and if he just wanted no part in this, which was the smart move there. And CHP and this tractor trailer are going to continue eastbound for now up this grade. This is the part of the 134 freeway that goes a little bit uphill, so we may see this truck slow down a little bit as we go uphill. And then after that, as you said, David, we have Pasadena. Looking ahead on that 210 134 interchange, not a lot of traffic in that direction either. A lot of open roads for this truck driver to go right now.
Yeah, and a pretty aggressive driving. Maybe that explains, you know, some of this driving, but maybe he does. We just don't know. And we don't know what might be in that container either, unless you've heard something, Gabe.
Yeah, David, we have not heard anything in terms of what this big rig container might be holding at this time. We do know that CHP is in contact with the original owner of the vehicle, and surely they are getting that information right now, but they haven't revealed that to us. So that is a good question right now. It looks like this big rig isn't quite one of those wide load big rigs, and also we don't see anything to indicate any sort of hazardous materials, at least as we zoom in right now. I don't see anything to indicate that at this point, which is also good news. We just have this driver, which is failing to pull over for CHP officers right now, continuing through the 134 210 interchange, and it looks like he's going to be committed to the eastbound 210 through Pasadena. He might have another option up ahead to pull off onto that 210, but it does look like at this point we're going into Pasadena.
Right.
Back to the right side in the number 4 lane. an option here for this driver coming up is the 605 freeway. That 605 freeway will take us through the San Gabriel Valley towards El Monte. We could continue this all the way towards Orange County if this driver decides to go that way. And we're going to find out very shortly what he's going to do. We have LAPD with their helicopter still assisting with this pursuit. It is a CHP pursuit. It's been a CHP pursuit from the beginning. I'm being told now that the sheriff helicopter is now taking the lead here. The LAPD ship, obviously now that we're a ways outside of the LAPD area, the city of Los Angeles, they have peeled off and let the LA County Sheriff's Department helicopter take the lead on this. If we continue eastbound, we're going to obviously get into San Bernardino County, and then San Bernardino has their own fleet of various law enforcement helicopters that may join this pursuit along with us here in Air 7 HD. We see that CHP unit getting a little bit close to the back end of that truck. That's about the closest I've seen them get in the duration of this pursuit. So we're going to try and find out if they are trying to get visual of the driver right now to at least get better information about how to handle this, situation. We've got the LA Metro going by at the same time. Looking at the cab of this trailer now, pretty dark in there. It's hard to tell if there's anybody else with this driver, if the driver's just alone there. As we kind of drift over to the left side now, drifting into the carpool lane, it does appear almost as if this drifting is unintentional, as we're drifting a little bit closer to that center median. That's a little too close for comfort, I would say, and now we drift a little bit back into that number 1 lane, as we see another CHP unit speed up, and probably they're going to take the lead on this pursuit, so they're going to hand over this pursuit to a different CHP division that will be able to take this into San Bernardino County.
The driver reached speeds of over 70 miles per hour at times, before turning onto Route 134 heading east. After continuing along Route 134, the driver made his way onto Route 210 east into the Pasadena area. There were moments when the suspect drove erratically and approached another large truck on the road, but the large truck showed noticeable signs of slowing down once authorities successfully applied spike strips. It all ended in Ontario. Shortly after, California Highway Patrol officers were able to tie up the truck. After both front tires were torn off, the front bumper was torn off. The pursuit of the truck continued without both front tires. The driver slowed briefly before accelerating again, but several minutes later, a portion of the large truck shock absorber came loose. The driver appeared to be having difficulty controlling the truck.
It does appear that a couple of the tires here were hit by those spike strips. We saw that CHP officer lay down the spike strips. We saw him pull it back. And now it appears that a couple of the tires here have been flattened by those spike strips. Yeah, if it impacts one of the front tires, that could impact steering. That could be good as far as bringing this pursuit to an end, because making this truck hard to control would hopefully cause the driver to stop. That left front tire is looking a little low as well. We're seeing a little bit of movement from that wheel. Up to the right, there's some sparks coming now. Sparks from the left tire. A little bit more swerving from this driver, swerving over to the right shoulder. Still on the gas, it appears, not giving any intention that this driver is going to stop. A lot more sparks coming from that front tire, and a lot more smoke coming from that front tire. That tire is going to be gone before you know it, as you see the debris, and there goes the bumper, there goes the whole tire. The tire is gone, and now we're on the rims. When that happens, well, we've seen these before. You see a lot of sparks. You have the potential for fire, and we're just going to have to wait and see what happens if this driver decides to continue pushing forward under these conditions. Both front tires, yep. We have consistent spikes coming, or sparks coming from that wheel. This thing's really going to be ground down to the axles here shortly if he continues. I got him. All right, so this truck driver doing a surprising job at maintaining speed and maintaining a straight direction, if you will, although we do have a curve in the freeway coming up. Doing a little bit of swerving motion to the right, 20, 30 mile an hour range. This pursuit really slowing down. And I'd be interested to find out if that is actually the truck driver actually slowing down, or if the truck is actually unable to continue now. We see a little bit of smoke coming from some of those rear wheels now. I wonder if the spike strip actually got those as well. That was just an incredible spike strip attempt that it got the front tires. It looks like it got one of the rear tires and possibly more. And that could be what CHP needed to do to bring this thing to an end, as we're seeing this tractor trailer continue to slow down. We have CHP units behind the truck. We have more CHP units behind those CHP units. Obviously, if you're going to use the 210 freeway tonight from Pasadena out towards the IE, that's going to be probably a slow go for you. If this thing comes to a stop on the freeway, it's obviously going to be shut down for some time. We're up into the fast lane now. Not going very fast. This is that curve in the 210 freeway north of Claremont as you get towards Upland. We're really seeing this truck slow down. Oh, it's swerving a little bit to the right side. You can really see the driver manipulating the steering wheel and causing those wheels to go back and forth. It's like maybe he thinks something is stuck, and he's thinking that swerving back and forth is going to get him a little more of an ability to continue forward. Unfortunately, we've already seen that tire, at least the left front tire, fly away. That's not part of the equation here now, and that's going to make it really difficult for this truck driver to continue. Using that left shoulder now. Looks like one of those rear tires is going flat, right? Going under a bridge. I believe that's going to be Mountain Avenue. We heard one of the CHP officers command on the radio to keep your distance, so they are keeping everyone's safety in mind here. As always in these situations, officers have to treat the pursuit driver as someone that could be armed and dangerous. We haven't heard specifics to that as well, but we do know that from those front wheels. It looks like those front wheels obviously don't have tires attached to them anymore, so they're going to make things difficult as far as controlling this tractor trailer. But you can still see those wheels turning back and forth as the driver turns the steering wheel back and forth. We saw the bumper fly away, the tire fly away. This truck could start coming apart if we go any longer. There's some more sparks coming off the left front tire, and all of a sudden we're picking up speed again. That's incredible because when the truck starts slowing down like that, you wonder if it's a problem with the vehicle causing him to slow down. Apparently not, though, because now all of a sudden we're in the 50, 60 mile an hour range and more pieces are flying off the vehicle. More sparks coming off as we continue to pick up speed, continuing eastbound on the 210 freeway in Ontario. Even more sparks coming off that front tire now. And those two CHP units keeping their distance, but still keeping an eye on things. Behind that, CHP has a traffic brake going, so they're not letting anybody pass this truck. But now that we're going to a little bit faster speeds, there is some vehicular traffic up ahead that this thing could catch up to, but I'm not sure we're going fast enough to do that. .51 miles an hour there, and the sparks just seem to multiply. Now it appears they're not just coming from the wheel, but they're coming from the actual, I would say the bumper, but we saw the bumper fly away, but it's like parts of this tractor trailer in the front are now grinding against the freeway surface, and we're seeing all those sparks because of that. Approaching Rancho Cucamonga now on this eastbound 210 freeway. I think we're in Rancho Cucamonga now. We see a little bit of movement into the right. You have to wonder what's going through this driver's mind right now, knowing that he has a vehicle in deteriorating condition. Judging by this driver's insistence to keep on going forward, as we see more sparks coming out the back of the truck now, you have to wonder how this thing comes to an end. There's a lot of heat that's going to be created in the front of that cab, in the engine area where the fuel tanks are. These usually don't end well, either in a crash or fire. We've seen these things catch fire. What do you got on the radio back there? Copy. Looks like we have flames now. We have flames coming from the undercarriage. A lot of sparks coming from the right side as well. Who else is on that side? even with all of these sparks and clear signs of fire, this driver's continuing to plow northbound on the 210 eastbound through Rancho Cucamonga. This truck is completely on fire. Now we're coming to a stop. We're seeing that fire start to spread to the cab. If we can, we'll bring Air 7 HD to the front of the vehicle. Is he out? Is he out? There he is. The driver's out. He's climbing the fence. Stay on this side if we can, Tyler. Don't get any further south. We see this driver struggling to climb up the hill. That's a good sign because it means that CHP doesn't have to deal with rescuing this suspect. Let's see if we can go a little bit north because of the sound wall there. And you could see that cab completely on fire now. That's going to be a complete loss. As we come on the other side of the sound wall here, we'll hopefully be able to see that suspect still on the run, continuing southbound. He's continuing southbound on one of the surface streets here, and that CHP air unit still has eyes on that suspect. He's continuing on foot, possibly running out of breath, jumping over a fence there onto a private property, into a home maybe. Looks like a condo complex. Hopefully CHP gets eyes on this guy shortly. I see one CHP officer on foot a little further down the road, and we see this guy now. This is the suspect. Stay on this side. Perfect, perfect. The air unit still has eyes on this suspect. It looks like he's out of breath just kind of walking through the neighborhood, and hopefully these CHP officers can get to this guy before he can cause any more trouble. Going around another townhome here. That night sun still staying on that general area, which means that CHP does have eyes on him. Now he's running northbound. Oh, it looks like he's going to hop into a patio here, possibly. Hopefully that CHP... Oh, no, not going to hop into the patio. Running out into one of the driveways. It does look like he's in kind of a condominium complex here, continuing to walk on foot. That one CHP officer is in a foot pursuit now, and another CHP officer closing in. This CHP officer looks like he has a lot more steam left in him, but that suspect still does too. He's going to continue on one of the surface streets here in this townhome complex. A lot of trees in this area. We're going to move Air 7 HD around to get you the best angle. Hopefully we see the suspect pop out on the other side here. And there he is. There he is. The suspect popping out onto the sidewalk. You see that one officer right behind him, and it looks like he made a tackle right behind the tree. And hopefully we will see the conclusion of this pursuit very shortly here. We see one officer on scene, another officer on scene, and it does appear that the suspect is giving up peacefully, which is all we can ask at this point. Looks like this is the 6600 block of Canary Pine Avenue in Ontario, a townhome complex just south of the 210 freeway here, the 210 and Haven. As we look back at the wreckage, the tractor trailer here now a complete loss, going up in flames. CHP is on scene, but the fire department is not. They're going to have to get the local fire department out here to help put this thing out. And there's our suspect. Our suspect on the ground in handcuffs after a long pursuit from Santa Clarita down the 5 freeway to the 134 to the 210. Ending in Ontario after a spike strip, a perfect spike strip attempt by CHP, knocking out multiple wheels on this tractor trailer, eventually causing sparks as the suspect driver continued to drive this thing and drive it eastbound. That caused this fire. Once the driver realized that his truck was going up in flames, he did the smart thing and pulled over and got out. Unfortunately, he did not give up at that point. The driver ran.
Sparks ignited and the truck cab caught fire. The driver pulled over to the side of the highway, got out of the truck and fled, then ran the suspect over an overpass, jumped a fence and headed into a residential neighborhood. He tried to hide, but police quickly arrived and arrested him. The suspect was arrested after he abandoned the semi-trailer truck, which later caught fire on Highway 210 near Rancho Cucamonga. Closing traffic.